Imagine the power goes out across an entire city. Streetlights flicker and die. Traffic stops. Stores close their doors. Cell service becomes unreliable. Hours pass, then a full day, and suddenly something you've never really thought about before becomes a serious concern. Water? Your tap stops running. Supermarket shelves empty in a matter of hours. Bottled water disappears almost instantly, and now you're in a situation millions of people have never prepared for. Finding safe drinking water in an urban environment when the system fails. Most people think survival skills only apply to forests, mountains, or deserts, but the reality is that cities can become survival environments very quickly during disasters, infrastructure failures, or long-term emergencies. In many ways, they can actually be harder, because while water might exist all around you, it's often contaminated, hidden, or dangerous to drink. Today we're going to walk through exactly how to find and purify water in an urban environment, where to look when the tap runs dry, what sources are actually safe, which ones are extremely dangerous, and how to turn questionable water into something you can safely drink. Because when the system fails, knowing where your next sip comes from could make all the difference. Let's start with one important reality. Cities are completely dependent on infrastructure. Water doesn't just magically appear in your sink. It's pumped from reservoirs, lakes, or rivers. It travels through miles of treatment plants, pumping stations, and pipes. When that system shuts down, the city loses access within hours. And dehydration hits faster than most people realize. Losing just a small percentage of your body's water affects your ability to think clearly. Your energy drops. Your coordination gets worse. Decision-making slows down. In a stressful urban emergency, that mental clarity is critical. That's why the first survival rule still applies, even in a city. Find water first, then make it safe to drink. Unlike wilderness environments, cities have both advantages and risks. The advantage is that water sources exist almost everywhere. The risk is that many sources may contain chemicals, bacteria, industrial runoff, or heavy metals. So step 1 is learning where to look. One of the most overlooked sources is inside buildings themselves. Water heaters often store between 30 and 80 gallons of water. If you know how to access the drain valve near the bottom of the tank, you may have a large supply of relatively clean water. Toilet tanks, not the bowl, but the tank behind it, also contain clean water if no chemical cleaners have been added. Pipes inside walls can hold several liters of water as well. Opening the lowest faucet in the building can sometimes release trapped water. Rainwater is one of the best urban water sources. Cities provide countless surfaces that collect rain: rooftops, balconies, gutters, and awnings. With a simple container or improvised funnel, you can collect large amounts. Rainwater is often much cleaner than people expect. Another source is public infrastructure. Parks often have decorative ponds or small lakes. While these look appealing, they should be treated as contaminated. Swimming pools are another large urban water reserve. A single residential pool can hold tens of thousands of liters of water. However, pool water contains chlorine and chemicals. It must be filtered and ideally distilled or chemically treated before consumption. Water tanks on rooftops are another source. Many buildings use these to maintain pressure, and they may still contain water after a shutdown. Then there are natural sources like rivers and canals. These are often heavily contaminated. Drinking untreated water from an urban river is extremely risky, which brings us to purification. No matter where you collect water in a city, you should assume it's contaminated until proven otherwise. The most reliable purification method is still boiling. Bringing water to a rolling boil kills bacteria, parasites, and most viruses. If boiling isn't possible, chemical purification is an option. Tablets containing iodine or chlorine dioxide are lightweight and extremely useful. Another popular option is portable water filters. Modern survival filters use microscopic membranes that trap bacteria and parasites as water passes through. Ultraviolet purifiers emit UV light that disrupts the DNA of bacteria and viruses. However, UV works best in clear water without sediment. Before purifying, it's helpful to remove debris first. This can be done with simple materials like cloth, coffee, filters, or paper towels. Sometimes combining multiple purification methods gives the best results. This layered approach dramatically increases safety. Floodwater is one of the dangerous sources to avoid. It often mixes sewage, chemicals, gasoline, and industrial waste into a toxic mixture. Even something as simple as melting ice from a freezer or collecting condensation from air. Conditioning units can provide small amounts. Large plastic bags tied around leafy plants in parks can collect condensation as plants release moisture. Every bit helps when supplies are limited. In cities, crowds can quickly form around known water sources. Knowing how to independently locate and purify water gives you freedom. You're not forced to compete with large groups. You can think clearly, move strategically, and stay hydrated without panic. Even a small urban emergency kit can make a massive difference. A durable bottle, a filter, and a metal container weigh very little. The final mindset to remember is simple. In a city emergency, water exists almost everywhere, but safe water is rare. If you found this guide helpful and want more practical survival knowledge, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Stay prepared, stay aware. Remember, in any survival situation, the next clean sip of water might depend entirely on what you know.